I would say my art is definitely governed by a variety of constraints around giving back to the environment and working in reciprocity with living beings in ecology. So especially those ecologies that are in an urban setting nearby to where I work and live. And tacked onto that is always sort of a running theme around environmentalism, treating trees and living beings in the environment as having their own kind of language that, for me as an artist, seek to kind of bring out through working with them. My art is kind of like always influenced by this concept of bringing in perhaps like practices or sort of activities that come from a space outside of art, and using those to kind of, or using art to develop ways to kind of like challenge those practices. One such practice would be our kind of relationship with the environment in New Zealand and outdoor practices, so hiking, tramping, outdoor pursuits, leaving the city, going out into our national parks, and I guess sort of building a relationship with those places. I find that my art practice always needs to find new ways to kind of draw on tools and practices in that realm and bring it into an art making sense, and kind of use that as a language to kind of challenge how we do that, or why we do that, why we go hiking in the hills, or why we where that came from, what that practice is all about. I would say if I've sort of reached a bit of an impasse, or I feel like my work feels a bit contrived, or I'm kind of like not getting where I need to with it, chucking on my backpack and tramping boots and going for a hike in the forest just really kind of brings me back down to earth a little bit. And it's just a reminder of sort of why it is that I do what I'm doing, and that is just that really that really back to basics relationship with trees, living beings, environments that live far longer than me or any of the humans who live. It's just that sense of wonder, being able to kind of tap into that, and then coming back into studio, it just helps me kind of build a bit of the language around that to kind of bring others in. I kind of had I would say, like in high school, there would have been a bit of a fork in the road around about sort of year 9 or 10, where my passion for working in the workshop, making with wood, was really something I did at school and at home, like a lot. Like that was sort of a potential pathway to me to become a builder or a cabinet maker or something like that. But and then this other pathway of pursuing visual arts. Those were sort of two things that I felt at that time like I kind of had to make a choice whether I sort of drop the woodwork thing and kind of do year 11 NCA level 1 art and kind of never look back. It was always been something that was part of my curriculum at school, and then changed schools when I was in Hamilton from Fairfield College to Hamilton Boys High, and an amazing art teacher at Boys High as well, who really challenged me to kind of think outside the box and consider other ways of art making than just still life and all of that instill traditional drawing practice that they really bed into you in high school, that there's other ways of art making and abstraction and really kind of mixing it up, sculpture and using different methods and materials other than paint to make images, and yeah, from there on in I've kind of always stuck with it. It's just always within me, this sort of need to kind of make art in a visual way. I've also always had an interest in kind of like science and biology, so that kind of was always in the mix, but I feel like I've always wanted to strive to build my art practice into something that's truly kind of like who I am, and that encapsulates all of these ways of thinking. Sort of sensibility towards wood and the nature of the material and its how it grows, as well as this kind of consciousness towards biology and ecology, and a sensitivity towards the environment and our natural world. I've sort of strived to kind of build that into my art practice, which is really nice. I feel like I'm at a good place with how that's kind of come to be. So I get to kind of do all of those things. Yeah.